Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Iftkhar. Welcome to my show. I was invited to do a show on this station to speak about my music, some of the performances, and my Sufism. I was born in Kampala, Uganda. I grew up on the island of Mombasa, on the east coast of Kenya. And I remember as a youth, of the month of Mawlid, how all the houses would celebrate Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's birthday with songs, with drums. The whole island was involved in this because at that time, the majority of the people who lived on the island were Muslims. We left East Africa in 1965 and came to London, where I grew up like any other kid, any other teenager. And that's where my music and interest really started to take off. I started to play Beatles songs, James Taylor, Cat Stevens. But I started to experiment also by trying to write my own songs. And the first time I wrote a song with depth was after watching a documentary on an orphanage they found in Romania, where the kids weren't crying anymore. They weren't laughing anymore because there was no response. There was no one there to look after them. And if they cried, no one would react, no one would come. So it was almost like a waste of time for the kids. That really moved me, and I could not get that image out of my head. I went to work the following day, and all I kept thinking about was that image of the kids in absolute silence. I got home after work, sat down, got my pad, got my pen, picked up my guitar, and just really haunted by the images that I had seen, I decided to write a song. This is the song I wrote.
will hold this world for a while. They will learn to survive. They will compromise with tears. They will learn to survive. They will compromise with tears. They will learn to survive. Go easy, let the earth see you smile. Go easy, live in peace for a while. Go easy, let the earth see you smile. Go easy, live in little child.
And that song is called Go Easy, and it's sung by my daughter Sophia. I wrote the song before Sophia was born, and at 14 years old she sang it on a performance, and it seemed really right that a song I wrote about children should be sung by a child. I sensed a real change in the Islam I had grown up with. There seemed to be a lot more extreme views. And I remember going for Jummah, and this guy came up to me and said that there was a man who was not a very good man, and would I meet him after the Jummah prayers so we can go and beat him up. And I thought, that's really, really strange. This was not the Islam I had grown up with in Mombasa. There was a lot of tolerance, a lot of patience. We had Sikh friends, we had Hindu friends, we had Christian friends, and there was a respect of all people when I was growing up. And all of a sudden I'm hearing about this man is not a good man, therefore we need to beat him up. This man is an evil man and he needs to be thrown out of the mosque. And this all seemed very, very strange to me. I had met at this time Cat Stevens, who obviously became Yusuf Islam, and he had given up music. We became quite good friends. I went to visit him at his home, he came to my home, And we would chat, not a lot about the music, because he was not too comfortable talking about it at that time. But I always felt it was a shame, because he'd written some wonderful songs about searching, about finding truth. We started to hear a lot of words branded around like haram, bidah. And it really made me think about the role of music. And I thought, well, surely if it had not been for the Sufis using Qawwali in India, they wouldn't have been able to draw the people in, to teach them about Islam. It was a door. And how Rumi used the ney flute and the drum for his love poetry, his love for Allah and his whirling, and how suddenly Mawlid was bidah, singing about Rasulullah and the love for Rasulullah was bidah, was haram. This really made me think. I started to question the people around me who were teaching me this new version of Islam. It seemed very extreme, seemed very hard. I don't remember my grandmother, my grandfather, my family having this attitude, this very, very hard, extreme view. I don't remember reading anything about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam using a stick to teach Islam. He taught with love. He taught with patience. He taught with acceptance. And it was at this time that I met the man who would then become my sheikh, my teacher, my guide. And I remember taking bay'ah and suddenly realizing that I knew absolutely nothing. I'd gone through this period when I was studying at the mosque and talking to people and thinking, yeah, I'm really, really getting there. But the moment I took my bay'ah, I realized I did not know anything. And what I thought I knew was false, corrupted, twisted. I had to start again. I had to be the empty cup that your guide can pour wisdom into, and not the full cup I was walking around with. And he started to teach me about love for Rasulullah, about love for Allah, and to open my heart and to surrender, truly surrender. And when you are taught to love, you start with the love of your teacher, which then grows for the love of Rasulullah, which then grows for the love of Allah.
If you trust me, then know that I trust someone else. If you love me, then know that I love someone else. If you believe me, then know that I believe in someone else. If you follow me, then know that I follow someone else. mean to sound so hard. You know that I have your love in my heart. And as you're holding on to my rope, then realize I'm holding to the rope of love.
And this song was called Forever Haqqani. It's about the relationship between the pupil and his teacher. It's about the trust. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave us many examples of using guides, people who really know, of having guides who know. But nowadays, we've got teachers coming out of Islamic colleges and giving khutbah, having learned 5 hadiths and 10 verses of the Quran. The whole music thing started when my teacher found out that I was playing music, I was interested in music, and I performed something in front of him, and he asked me if I enjoyed this, and I said, yes, I do. He said, use it, go and make people happy, but don't play to hard-hearted people. And I thought, what does that mean? And I imagined sort of, don't do any pub gigs and club gigs and these sort of things, but it wasn't. He was being a lot more subtle, and he was basically telling me to play to people whose hearts were open. So we performed our first big gig in Manchester, I think in front of about 3,500 people. I was really nervous. The other band members were quite nervous. But my daughter, alhamdulillah, at 14 years old, was full of confidence. And she stood in the front with her scarf on, her smock top on, her jeans, and just sang. And it just felt so nice. It felt so good. It felt so positive. Because we kept getting people coming up to us and speaking about, wow, I really felt what was going on. We were concentrating really on the unity of all of us. It wasn't about, this is an Islamic concert. It was about, let's celebrate what we have in common and leave aside what is different between us. We had a small hall where we lived, and we used to put posters up and make tea and cakes, and people would just come and they would sit down and we would start to perform. And we used to use the whirling dervish as well. They were whirling. People very often actually felt that they wanted to join in, which we did. We encouraged them to actually join in. And every song that we performed had a way of extending itself. If people stood up and started to whirl, the song would carry on. We wouldn't stop the song, because people are a bit nervous when they start. And they feel this need to just turn and very often join in the dhikrs which we would bring in. So the first part would be that they would stand up and they would start to whirl, and we would extend the songs. And as more and more people started to whirl, we would then not be singing lyrics, but we would bring in dhikrs, we would bring in Allah's names. And within a short time, you would see the people actually following what we're saying. So very often it would be sort of, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, and you'd hear them and you'd see them, La ilaha illallah. And that was, for me, just sharing this incredible gift that Allah has given us of saying La ilaha illallah. And you don't know what's going to happen to these people, but the seeds are there. And even if they pass, the angels will come to look and search at any time did they say La ilaha illallah. It's a mercy, is how I saw it. Not from me, from Allah. Just to give, just to throw these seeds. As the performances went on, I can honestly say that 90% of our performances, people took Shahada. They were fascinated. They were so taken by the love they felt, which wasn't coming from us. It was a much higher source, that a lot of them took Shahada. Some of them kept in touch. Others just, made their own way. That was really proving to me that what we were doing was correct, was right, and it was approved by Allah. Because this mercy would not have showered had Allah not been pleased with it.
This is Ramadan Radio. Little Dessert Shop continues to expand with stores in Bilston, Wolverhampton and Wensfield. During Ramadan, we're celebrating our show-stopping dunking box for only £25. Feed the family with this exquisitely presented Iftkhari gift, featuring the best from our menu. Enter Ramadan 25 at the checkout on our incredible new website. Visit littledessertshop.co.uk today, the holy month of gifting. From all at Little Dessert Shop, we'd like to wish you a blessed Ramadan and a huge Eid Mubarak.
Do you have a family member that's passed away and you would like someone to assist you in legal advice? Kenneth Jones Solicitors has been providing legal services for businesses and individuals since 1986. We specialise in probate, Islamic wills and family law. We also offer services in conveyancing, immigration and personal injury. Contact us today on 01902 745 773 or visit us on our website at kenneth-jones.co.uk.
Mubi Bass Electronics, specialist in car audio and home entertainment. Suppliers of leading brands, Samsung, Sony, and Panasonic. We supply and fit all car audio systems, top brands, Kenwood, Bose, and we're an authorized supplier of Vibe product. Visit our store online at mubibass.co.uk and order today for next day delivery. Mubi Bass Electronics are proud sponsors of Wolverhampton Wanderers FC. Call us today for a free quote on 01902 754 546 and quote Ramadan 20 for 10% off. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Mubi Bass Electronics, specialist in car audio and home entertainment.
Is your home protected from the unexpected? It can be with Home Cover Plan, Wolverhampton's fastest growing home emergency cover from as little as $14.50 a month. That's right, for just $14.50 a month, Home Cover Plan will protect your boiler, radiators, electrics, plumbing and any other home emergencies with no catches, no call-out charges and no excess charges plus a boiler service. What's more, for Ramadan 2020, we're offering 15% off our policies with the code Ramadan15. Go to homecoverplan.co.uk now and join the many thousands already enjoying the benefits. Your tyres are essential for safe driving. They're the only link between your vehicle and the road. At Premier Tyres, we proudly stock leading tyre brands such as Goodyear, Michelin, Pirelli and more. We're also your go-to garage for MOTs, servicing, exhausts and all your mechanical needs. With the most affordable prices in town, unmatched quality, knowledgeable and fully qualified mechanics, we will look after your car no matter the make or model. Premier Tyres, Crown Street, WV1 1PX. Call 01902 455 684 or visit premiertyreservices.com.
Are you in receipt of benefits and looking for cavity wall or underfloor insulation? Did you know, with Northern Gas Heating, you could get a free boiler with the insulation measure of your choice? Call 0800 083 1000 or go to northerngasheating.com to see if you're eligible. It's a quick and easy assessment. Northern Gas Heating, celebrating over 20 years in the industry. We're proud to be the UK's local central heating company.
Pack Continental, your local best halal supermarket in Wolverhampton. Established for over 20 years, we pride ourselves on our fresh vegetables and fresh fruit. We have a variety of spices and lentils. We're also an award-winning Halal Butcher of the Year for 2 consecutive years. We supply excellent quality meat and poultry delivered fresh daily to our store. Visit us today at 1-3 Hunter Street, Wolverhampton, WV6 0QZ, or call 01902 717 792. Open 9am till 8pm Monday to Saturday and 10am till 6pm on Sundays. Go to RamadanRadioWolves.com and donate to your local mosque.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back. I want to talk about the style of songs that I was trying to write. I wanted to be really on the subtle line of things so that if you were a spiritual person, you would sense and feel the spiritual messages that were in the songs. And if you weren't, then there would just be songs. There would just be pop songs. In fact, I've had some occasions when people actually said, well, I thought this was an Islamic group, but all I heard was pop songs, which is fine. But our aim was not to play to Muslims. Our aim was to play to other people. And we used to meet very, very spiritual people that had nothing to do with Islam, but were very, very spiritual, very open. And these were the types of people that we were trying to appeal to, so that they would not feel segregated. If they came to a show and saw an Islamic environment and then started to hear Arabic songs and Urdu songs, that would be fine. But what we were doing was dawah. We were trying to find this unity. We wanted them to share in this unity and almost sort of leave your beliefs behind. Let's just come together. And after that, it's up to Allah. Allah's the one who gives faith. Allah's the one who gives iman. So all we had to do was just connect. And that's the reason why so many times people would come up at the end and say, I really like what you've done. I really believe in what you're doing. And they would very often take shahada. And like I said before, a lot of them would keep in touch with us and keep practicing. And some of them would just, wander off into their own worlds. And whether they kept the faith or didn't keep the faith was up to them, and that's between them and Allah. So to remove any obstacles that was going to be in the way, that's what our aim was. So very often people would come, look at us, and be really puzzled by how we looked. We were different ages, we were different shades, but we were really united in the one cause. And the one cause was to celebrate unity, humanity, spirituality. So the songs that I wrote all carried spiritual messages. Some were very, very subtle, and some were out there. We had some songs that had Allah's names. We had other songs that would not directly mention Allah's name, but Allah's spirit, and not mention Rasul's name, but Rasul's spirit. In fact, one of the songs that I wrote, that I played the intro to, was a real inspiration. I was at home, just having breakfast, and I just felt this real need to write. So I went out to the hall that we used to call the dargah. And for those who don't know, the dargah is normally a mosque, a dining room, a school that's always associated and next to the teacher's home. And we made one here. And I went in there, and within a short time I found the chords that I needed, and the rest was inspiration. And I was inspired to write a story of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam between the age of, some say, 9 to 13, when his grandfather had died and his uncle was now looking after him, and his uncle had to travel to go and trade. And when his uncle informed Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he was going to leave him and go away for a while, the sadness on Rasulullah's face was too much for him to bear. So he took the young boy with him. And on the journey was an oasis where the travellers used to stop overnight or a few days and rest. And at this oasis was a cell. And a cell is a place where the monks stay and observe and write. And after Nabi Isa alayhi salam left the earth, the Christians, his followers, and the Jews had actually left and migrated to the valley of Paran, which is Makkah. And the monks had set up cells because they were expecting the last prophet to arrive in this area. And in this particular oasis, the monks noted everything that was happening, the events. And as one passed away, another one would come and replace him and carry on the same observations until this one day, when this monk was peering out, looking for new arrivals. The signs were there, all the signs. He noticed a caravan arriving at a distance and kept watching them, and eventually saw the caravan stop. But what he noticed was, as the caravan was coming towards some trees, a small cloud was following the caravan. And as the caravan stopped, the cloud stopped. And he kept observing. Eventually, when the camels had been unloaded and you could see the figures resting under a tree, he then noticed that the tree's branches were starting to lean over and felt there's something going on here. I need to invite these people over. So he sent an invitation, and the uncle of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam accepted. But he kept Rasulullah back and told him to look after the animals while him and his crew went to the monk for dinner. And as they were sitting down with the monk was observing all of them and asking the uncle, is there anyone else left? And at first the uncle said, no, this is me and my crew. And the monk asked again, is there no one else left behind? And the uncle said, yes, there's a young boy looking after the animals. And the monk asked, why don't we invite him also? And the uncle felt a bit guilty and said, yes, we must, and sent one of his crew to fetch the young Rasul. And as soon as Rasulullah arrived at the monk's cell, the monk knew immediately who this was. And he asked, who is this boy to you? And the uncle, out of love, said, this is my son. And the monk said, no, this boy has no parents. And the uncle said, no, he's an orphan, he's my nephew. And as Rasulullah sat down to eat with the others, the monk was looking at him and asking him questions. Eventually the monk asked the uncle in private, can I see the boy's back? And the uncle said yes. And he called Rasulullah and lifted his shirt, and there, between his shoulder blades, was the seal, the mark that Allah had given him as the seal of the prophets. As soon as the monk saw that, he rejoiced quietly and told the uncle, protect him, hide him, because they are looking for him now, and if they find him, they will try to kill him. Astaghfirullah. And I was inspired to really write about this story, to write it in the perspective that I was present and I'm witnessing everything and detailing everything. And I decided to call this song Mercy, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, I have sent him as a mercy to you.
Many years of hoping, a monk with tears in his eyes, holding on, praying one day he may see the light. Hot sun beats down like a drum on the small oasis. 600 years we've been waiting. Look to the distance, see the dust kicked by a caravan. Miss a beat, maybe this time. And though it burns his eyes, he will not remove them from his sight. Feels it in his bones, maybe this time. Like a child elated, a smile you will not believe. The caravan stops under a tree, cloud shade and a cooling breeze. This time I know he's here, this time I feel him near. Now his heart is beating like a drum. He feels mercy like the blazing sun. Allahu Allah, Ithna ya Rasul Allah, Ya Azim al-Jalayka salawatullah. Invited guests sit round his fire, food and drink all you desire. But he himself, he does not eat, feeling someone has missed their seat. Tell me, is this all of you? It's mercy I expect of you. I'm deeply saddened, I don't see him. And so they bring to him the lad who's tending animals, a smiling face, the Lord's grace makes the moon despair. So many years of waiting, so many years of hope. Now before him, with love in his eyes, stands mercy. Allahu Allah, Ithna ya Rasul Allah, Ya Azim al-Jalayka salawatullah. with your life. Don't ever let them find him. They will hurt him if they realize he is mercy. Before you go, just one last look. His image I will draw in my book. Because of him we all arrive. He is the seal of all our lives. The earth will soften to take his stride. The sun will never outshine his light. He will share with us his life. He is mercy. He is mercy. Allahu Allah ithna ya Rasul Allah ya Azim al-Jalayka salawatullah. Allahu Allah ithna ya Rasul Allah Allahu Allah ithna ya Rasul Allah ya Azim al-Jalayka salawatullah. Allahu Allah ithna ya Rasul Allah Allahu Allah ithna ya Rasul Allah ya Azim al-Jalayka salawatullah. Allahu Allah ithna ya Rasul Allah Allahu Allah ithna ya Rasul Allah ya Azim al-Jalayka salawatullah.
I hope you enjoy that track. It was a track we performed on every gig that we did. It was important to us. And it was always the first song that we ever played. Rumi was a very inspiring master in our inspirations. His depth of love for Allah and for Rasulullah was immense. I hope, inshallah, you enjoyed the program I just did. And inshallah, I'll be given another chance to do another one. But I'm going to leave you now with a track that is more traditional, but still fusion, still open to non-Muslims, still open to non-Eastern people. Just something that cuts across the board and appeals to everyone. Because we have to have doors that are open. We sometimes cannot be too traditional. Because people have to be able to relate to something for them to have a step forward. So, inshallah, you will enjoy this track. It's a track I did with some friends of mine. And we did it quite a few years ago. We've never had the chance to perform it, but it was there, always there. Have a good Ramadan, inshallah. Until we meet again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Love is the universal order. We are the atoms. Love is the ocean. We are the drops. Love has offered us 100 proofs. We are looking for reasons. Through love, the heavens are ordered. Without love, suns and moons are eclipsed. Through love, what was bent is made straight. Without love, what was straight becomes bent. Truly, between two hearts, there exists a window. Hearts do not stay apart like bodies. The clay of lamps cannot meet, but their light does. Truly, no lover is in search of union without his beloved also searching for this union. When in your heart your love for Allah grows, know without the shadow of a doubt that Allah is loving you.